Here in the South, music is almost as important as breathing. From bluegrass in the Appalachian Mountains and gospel in the Bible Belt, to blues in Memphis and soul in Muscle Shoals, it's all American music, born here in the Deep South and celebrated by a new generation. Welcome to Southern Fried Music TV.
2, 3, 4.
Everybody, welcome into Southern Fried Music TV, another episode coming up for you. As we have talked about in previous episodes, we're sitting here playing acoustic instruments and things like that, but we cover all kinds of genres of music. You're going to see rock folks, you're going to see blues, you're going to see bluegrass, and today we're going to feature some Southern gospel, that good old-time Southern gospel quartet with the Southmen Quartet, which is one of the oldest and most popular male four-part quartets in all of Southern gospel music.
You know, it's kind of funny. I hear people talking about the fact that they say, well, Southern gospel's dying, Southern gospel's dying. Let me tell you something. If you've been to a Southern gospel show in the South lately, there's nothing dying about it.
Absolutely.
The crowds are there, the energy level's there, the harmony is unbelievable. And, I grew up with it. My daddy sang it, and let me just tell you, it's still strong today, buddy.
Absolutely. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. And we're going to feature the Southmen Quartet from one of their concerts at Boaz, Alabama, at Snead State Junior College, or Snead State Community College up there in the Bevel Center. And we're going to have them here on the front porch with us to talk with us a little bit today. So hang out for that. That's coming up in just a moment. Well, welcome into this edition of Southern Fried Music TV. As I told you in the opening, we're going to be talking about Southern gospel music today, and one of the biggest names in Southern gospel music, the Southmen Quartet, which is from right here in East Alabama, the Northeast Alabama area. So let's welcome them to the show today. Great to have you guys on set with us here.
Great to be here, Carl. I tell you what.
The first thing we need to do is introduce the leader of the Southmen Quartet, Mr. Jim Hefner. If you've been anywhere in the Southern gospel music world over the last 40 years, you know the name Jim Hefner. And Jim, we welcome you to the program. We're going to hear some of your guys' music as we go through the show today.
Good.
And first off, though, introduce these guys and tell us who's with you here today.
Okay, this one here, we've been after him for about 15 years. He just never did see the light, you know. And, about 3 or 4 months ago, some things happened, and God just put us together. I was trying to reach him. He was trying to reach me at the same time. Mm-hmm. So it had to be a God thing. Yeah. And so we finally sat down and talked, and we got him, and we were tickled to death with him. We think he's the best tenor singer in gospel music. Mm-hmm. From right here in Gadsden. His name is Ricky Perkins.
Absolutely.
And we are thrilled to death to have him with us.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him singing with you guys as well. Ricky and I have been friends for 20 or 30 years now.
I didn't know Ricky had any friends.
Well, that's one you can count on there. And the rest of the guys?
Well, the guy to my right on the back is a native of the area. He lives in Albertville, Alabama. And Donnie's been with us now about 2 years and just doing a fabulous job. I mean, he and Ricky do a lot of the arranging and picking out songs and things like that. And he just wins the hearts of people everywhere we go. Mm-hmm. His name is Donnie Marr. And he's wanted to sing and travel full-time all his life, so he's getting to do that now.
Yeah, yeah.
We started in 1974. And the first concert we did was in Rome, Georgia. That's 41 years ago, and this one was with us then.
Right.
He's still here. One of the greatest quartet men in the country, and one of my best friends, very best friends. His name is John Washburn, and that makes up the Southmen.
Absolutely. Guys, we're glad to have all you with us. And as we mentioned, we're going to be hearing some of their music as we go through the show. I got to go to the Southmen reunion homecoming show in Boaz recently, so we've got some music from that we're going to share with you and let you hear. But Jim, tell us, take us back to 1974, the beginning of the Southmen Quartet. It was you and Jack Toney and Tim Riley and Johnny and one more person?
Two more people.
Two more?
Larry Beck was singing baritone, and a guy from Fort Payne, Sylvania up there. Tommy Glover was playing piano. In fact, you saw him at the reunion.
Yeah.
But I lived in Gadsden at that time, and of course Tim lived in Gadsden at that time. Everybody lived in Gadsden at that time except Johnny and the piano player, and Johnny lived out at Gallup. And we got to joking around one day, and I was working for Channel 8 TV, the local place. And there was a piano there, and we got to talking. We said, why don't we get together some night, guys, and just jam around a little? And we did, and it sounded pretty good, you know. And I was promoting a lot then, and I had a big singing coming up in Rome, Georgia, in about a week. And we all said, why don't we sing on that singing? And we did, and not to be boastful, I don't mean that at all, but it was just absolutely unreal, the reception. Thus, the Southmen was born.
Yeah.
And at that time, I don't know if you remember him or not, Mr. J.G. Whitfield, he was probably the largest promoter in the country at that time. And for some reason, he liked us. Yeah. And he started putting us on a lot of his all-night singings. And so 41 years later, here we are.
Yeah, wow, that's great. What has kept the Southmen at the top of the Southern gospel business all these years? You know, groups come and go. Some come and stay, some come and go, and some just fade away. But you guys have always managed to stay up there where people know who you are.
Well, I think a couple of reasons, Carl. One is we've always had a very extremely friendly group of guys that loves people. You know, I'm not knocking groups, but some of them don't have time for the people, you know. Yeah. And if the people's not there, they don't need us there. So that's one reason. And another, we have stayed true to our roots. We're Southern gospel, always will be. People say you might need to step it up another notch and do a little different. I said, why? You know. Exactly.
I noticed that on your website. That's one of the things that's prominent on your website is if you want a family-friendly, old-time Southern gospel show where the guys are clean-cut, they're wearing suits, they're looking nice, and singing good music, then you guys are the guys you want to go see.
Absolutely. We still wear the same kind of suits everywhere, and we listen to what people say, and we believe that we know what Southern gospel music fan wants. So that's what we do. Yeah. I mean, if you don't like Southern gospel, don't book us. You know? We'll push it down your throat.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, speaking of some Southern gospel, let's listen to some right now, and we'll take you to Boaz, Alabama, and listen to a little bit of the Southmen Quartet.
Sunday morning we shall see Jesus in the air, coming after you and me, joys ours to share. Blood rejoicing there will be when the saints arise, heading for that jubilee yonder in the sky. Oh, what singing, oh, what shouting, on that happy morning when we all shall rise. Oh, what glory, glory, hallelujah, when we meet our blessed Savior in the sky. With all the heavenly hosts we begin to sing, we're singing in the Holy Ghost, how the heavens will ring. Millions there will join the song, with them we shall be, praising Christ through ages long, for heaven's jubilee. Well, oh, what singing, oh, what shouting, on that happy morning when we all shall rise. Oh, what glory, glory, hallelujah, when we meet our blessed Savior again. Sing it one more time. Oh, what singing, oh, what shouting, on that happy morning when we to sing. We're singing in the Holy Ghost, how the heavens will ring. Millions echoes on the song, with them we shall be. The praising Christ of ages, called heaven's jubilee. Well, oh, what singing, oh, what shouting, on that happy morning when we all shall rise. Well, oh, what glory, glory, hallelujah, when we meet a blessed Savior in the sky. Well, oh, what singing, oh, what shouting, on that happy morning when we all shall rise. Oh, what glory, glory, hallelujah, when we meet a blessed Savior in the sky. Yes, when we meet a blessed Savior in the sky.
Back with Southern Fried Music TV, the Southmen Quartet, our guests today. We've been listening to some of their music, and we still got more that we're going to be hearing from these guys. And let me just go back a few months. You guys had a tragedy that happened with your group, a bus accident, and you lost one of your members in that accident.
We did.
Talk about that a little bit.
Carl, that was a night that just horrible. We had just finished a concert in up near Elkhart, Indiana, on a Saturday night. Had to be in Nashville Sunday night, and the promoter that had us on that Saturday night wanted us to go to his house and have a meal with him, which we did. And we got ready to leave, and it was a pretty long haul from there to Nashville, so we knew I had a pretty good run. And the piano player said, I feel good, guys. He said, I'll drive. We hadn't been home from California, what, guys, 2 days, 3 days?
Not long.
Yeah. And Johnny does a lot of our driving, and he'd just driven about 6,000 miles in the last couple of 3 weeks. So anyway, Roy said he'd drive, so he started, and I didn't go back to my bed, but I laid down on the sofa right behind the driver. And for some reason, Johnny laid on the sofa right across from me. And 15 minutes later, maybe 20, I mean, I don't know, it was just horrible.
Yeah.
All I could see was microwaves and countertops and TVs flying through the air.
Wow.
And I was actually buried at the bottom of the bus. They didn't know where I was. But I could hear Johnny talking to Roy, trying to get him to, and then we realized that Roy had passed.
Yeah.
And, we'll never know exactly. People still ask us every day what happened, and the doctors and most people say they thought he had a heart attack and just ran off the road, which is probably what happened. But we don't know that. But I let Johnny he was actually doing most of the work, so I let him explain a little bit about the situation of discovering that Roy was dead. Johnny.
Well, we were going down Interstate 65 at interstate speed. Yeah. And Roy never hit the brakes, never hollered out or anything. We just left the road and went down into the woods, and too fast. Too fast for something like that. But anyway, as soon as we stopped, I jumped up and got to him, and he was already gone. And we were trying to see if we could revive him, and of course it was too late. But I tell you, God was really gracious to us. Jim got injured quite a bit. Donnie and I luckily had a few scratches and a few bruises, but we were fine. And in spite of what took place, I thank God for what didn't happen that night.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse. And, and that's something people don't think about. You guys that are traveling on the road every week, all the time, in buses and RVs, going from town to town to town. you guys face those kind of dangers
Yeah,
all
we
the
do.
time, and people don't really think about that.
Yeah, I mean, you always know it's a possibility, but you never think it'll happen to you.
Yeah.
But sometime it does, and it did.
Well, moving on from that, you guys have brought Ricky in at this point. I know you're in the studio working on a new project. So you always got something fresh going on. So, so tell us about the new project and what's to come in the next few months for the South.
I'll let Donnie and Ricky share that. They put most of the CD together. Johnny and I just sing on that part. That's the one time when I don't really have much say-so.
Right, you just sit back and let them do the work on this part.
Everybody has, in the Southman, everybody has their responsibility. Johnny's got the hardest one of all. He decides where we're going to eat.
That's right.
4 different guys.
He does do a good job of that.
And we do that a lot.
Yeah, you can tell. We like to eat.
And Johnny will say, "Where do you guys want to eat?" It don't matter. You're in charge. So he'll pull in somewhere, and he say, "We're not going to eat here, are we?"
A lot of Cracker Barrels, I'm sure, out on the road there. Yeah.
But you know, our favorite, not favorite place, but we go west every year, and you don't have but 2 choices out there: Denny's and IHOP.
Oh yeah.
You don't have Cracker Barrels.
No Cracker Barrels out that way.
But I'll let Donnie and Ricky tell you about our new project. It is out. It's being sent out all over the country. In fact, this week to radio. So I'll let them tell you about it and about the song that they're predicting will be #1. So guys,
awesome.
you guys
Donnie, go ahead.
Well, our CD is entitled Blessed and Renewed, and the reason we entitled it that is because we are blessed and renewed.
Amen.
After October the 12th, we didn't think we'd be singing again, so God's really blessed. We've got 10 unbelievable songs on that CD, some that Ricky made famous a few years ago, When It Takes a Miracle, Across the Bridge. We've got songs like After a While, Heaven's Jubilee, In the Shelter of His Arms, just great songs like that God's really placed in our life. And really, as a group, we hadn't really picked our favorite off the CD. We just enjoy those songs, and God's allowed us to get Across the Bridge. We've tweaked it just a little bit, gave it our touch, and we've re-recorded it and sent it out to radio, and Ricky did a superb job on the song, and we're excited about that, and excited about what God's doing. We're picking songs for a brand new project from start to finish, for our heart.
Yeah.
That's what we want it to be. We want it to be our heart, and we want people to see our heart through these songs and to see what God's done in our lives. And being Ricky coming aboard has been an absolute blessing.
Amen.
God knew what we needed, and sometimes we don't understand the trials, we don't understand the tribulation stuff that we go through, but God always understands, and He always knows. And man, it's great to have Ricky aboard with the Southmen. Tell them about your song, Ricky.
Well, let me just say that working first of all with these guys, Carl, has been a thrill and been a joy in my life, because I've always loved quartet singing, always loved traveling, and it's just been an exciting thing. And the song itself, Across the Bridge, is a song that was released years ago, but I'm so excited because it's fresh. It's had a facelift, so to speak, you know. And when we went into the studio and redid the song, it's just I felt a new anointing on the song, and I just believe that, you know, God's just put His stamp of approval on it.
Absolutely.
And you know, I believe that He's going to use it greater than it was used to begin with.
Once I lived a life of sin. In this world I'm living in, I've done forbidden things I shouldn't do. Then I met a stranger on the way and asked him, where's the place that I can find sweet happiness and love that's true? He said, across the bridge, there's no more sorrow. Across the bridge,
It has been a great day with the Southmen Quartet here on Southern Fried Music TV. Hope you've enjoyed it as well. If you want to find out where they're going to be, how to get in touch with them, their schedules, their music, all those kind of things, great website, southmenquartet.com, easy to find. And you can also hook up with you guys on Facebook as well. Everybody's on Facebook now, so you can find out what's going on with them on Facebook. Right now, we're going to wrap things up with another song from their homecoming show in Boaz. So we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Southern Fried Music TV.
You've heard about a place called heaven up in the blue. I'm glad that all my sins forgiven. I'm telling you, I'd like to see you get this feeling you can't receive. God's ready now to give you this feeling if you believe. He's a personal Savior, personal Savior, personal friend. He's mine, I know. Yes, he's mine, I know. I love him so. He did my soul. Yes, he did my soul. A personal friend. That's why I tell him now wherever I may go. Personal friend. Don't ever try to quench the spirit when God's around. Some people seem to get so weary, then turning down judgment. You're gonna see the Savior as you pass by. Think how you're gonna feel that morning when others cry. He's a personal Savior, personal Savior, personal friend. He's yes, he did my soul. Personal flavor too. That's why I tell him now wherever I may go. When I am blue and feeling oh so, he'll take me through. Satan can't get me down. And from the path that he's I'll never away or shall no more. He's a friend, he's a friend, he's a personal friend.